1 to 10 of how happy you are at Wofford College.
Uh,
What's up?
well, it's just not a lot of people here, and everybody has cliques, and everybody knows each other, and I don't know anybody.
What do you think the culture around Wofford is?
Very blue collar.
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, it just seems like if you're not like in a sorority or fraternity, like at Wofford, then you're just kind of left out the loop. Or if you're not an athlete or something like that,
What do you think about Spartanburg?
I think it's lame.
What's up?
So I've lived here for too long. So,
Are you glad you chose Wofford?
um, fairly. I feel like I'll be appreciative when I graduate with a good degree.
Thank you. Rate from 1 to 10 of how happy you are at Wofford College.
As right now, I'm about a 7. I say a 7 because my senior year, but looking back over some of the things that I've experienced here, everything wasn't all sunshine like they made it out when I came before a tour.
What do you think the culture around Wofford is?
Fine culture at Wofford.
What do you think the interaction between the students are and the whole atmosphere?
Limited to an extent because when you get here as a freshman class, sure, you're going to be all together, one close-knit group. But like, I'm a senior, since I've been here, you slowly see people shift into different sects, different cliques. People go off the pledge. They hang out with their pledge members. And you got those. It just becomes real, not to sound cliche, but just real clique-like society on Wofford.
What do you think about Spartanburg?
Yeah, for the most part, I'm from the country, so for the most part, it's an okay city, I guess. This is definitely something I'm not experienced to. First time coming here, it was like, what kind of place is this? Because I was just amused at all these different buildings. Going down the street, you got all these stores. I'm from the country, you don't got stuff like that.
And are you glad you chose Wofford?
Given all I've experienced since I've been here, how I've come through it, and this is my home stretch, it's a good choice.
All right, thank you. Rate from 1 to 10 of how happy you are at Wofford College.
Say about a 7 or an 8.
What's up?
Well, I just dropped a class today, so I have I'm on a high right now. But overall, I like I'm a freshman, so just got on campus. But I like the way how small it is, and I'm already starting to like settle in.
What do you think the culture around Wofford is?
I think there's like different there's a culture that people perceive it as from the outside looking in, but when you're here, it's like there's like two different cultures. There's like the culture that people see, and there's like the culture like we're just like anybody else, kind of. We have our cliques and everything.
What do you think about Spartanburg?
I think Spartanburg's okay. I'm from the area, and while living in the area, I didn't think Spartanburg was all that bad. But the last few weeks, with all the armed robberies and car breaking into, it makes me not want to leave campus. But other than that, it's okay.
Are you glad you chose Wofford?
As of now, I'm pretty glad I chose it. I've always wanted to come here, so I'm kind of biased, but yeah, I like it.
Rate from 1 to 10 of how happy you are at Wofford College.
I'd say about a 9.
What's up?
Well, actually, I'd say an 8. Changed my mind. I don't really like Whiteman this year, but other than that, I've had a pretty good experience.
What do you think the culture at Wofford is?
I think that they're two really different cultures. There's some people who try really, really hard and study hard, and then there's the culture that tries to take the easy route and then doesn't do any homework ever.
What do you think about Spartanburg?
Spartanburg. There's something just not quite right about it. People, I mean, there's some good restaurants, but there's always something interesting going on.
Okay. And are you glad you chose Wofford?
Yes, I'm very glad I chose Wofford.
Thank you. Rate from 1 to 10 of how happy you are at Wofford College.
I'd say about a 9.
Why so?
I like the small class sizes. I like the southern atmosphere they have here, and Spartanburg's not that bad, even though some people don't like it.
What do you think about the culture? What do you think the culture is at Wofford College?
I'd say there's a pretty big separation. I mean, there's the athletes and there's the Greek life, and then there's people who study a lot. But I mean, I'd say everybody's pretty interconnected.
What do you think about Spartanburg?
Nothing like Charlotte, so that's where I'm from. But it's nice. It's got everything you need.
Are you glad you chose Wofford College?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Rate from 1 to 10 of how happy you are at Wofford College.
9,
Why so?
because I feel like Wofford is a home away from my own home.
What do you think the culture around Wofford is?
I think it's pretty diverse because we have people from different backgrounds and these people get along pretty well. So I think Wofford is pretty diverse. Any cultural background is welcome in Wofford.
What do you think about Spartanburg?
Well, I don't know a lot about Spartanburg, but I mean, it's kind of small and kind of boring. There's not a lot to do in Spartanburg. I'm not from Spartanburg, but I don't like it.
And are you glad you chose Wofford?
I'm so glad Wofford chose me. Yeah,
All right, thank you.
no problem.
Rate from 1 to 10 of how happy you are at Wofford College.
I would say I'm an 8. Wofford has great. You gotta ask why, right?
Yeah.
Wofford has great benefits on networking, the friendships you make with the guys that go on the campus. But being African American, the social environment is not the ideal for a typical college experience. But overall, the benefits that you get from coming to Wofford and the experience that you gain, I would say it's about an 8.
What do you think the culture around Wofford is?
The culture around Wofford is it's segregated, but it's not segregated. I would say like everybody has their own cliques. Races hang together, athletes hanging together, but at the same time, there's a camaraderie. I would say everybody tends to come together, support the football team, support each other in events because we're a small school. So although you have your distinct cliques or distinct groups that you mesh with, everybody also comes together, support each other. Everybody's able to communicate well with each other because of that diversity here at Wofford.
What do you think about Spartanburg?
Spartanburg is it's an okay city. I've heard great things about it in the past, but Spartanburg is it's a well-established area. There are a lot of nice things around the area, other colleges, other things to do, movies, bowling, things of that nature. So Spartanburg is it's a family environment. I'll say that. It's a family environment.
Are you glad you chose Wofford?
Yeah, I'm very happy to be at Wofford. I know that sometimes I think about why I'm here, I'm questioning, but I know in the end, the things that Wofford can do for me, not just about any other school, South Carolina is not capable of doing.
Thank you.